Hey, what's up everybody? It's Nay, and this video today is about how you can raise your credit score and keep it up there so that you can buy your own home. Alright guys, so first things first, if you're looking to buy a home, it's important to know what your credit score determines and how important it is to have a good credit score for when you're going to purchase your first home. So basically what your credit score determines is whether or not you're even a good borrower, if you're responsible with paying back your money on time. It determines how high or low your interest rate will be on your loan. It determines if they even want to give you a loan, and it can also determine how much they will require as a down payment for your loan. All of these things are really important. It's important for you to try to build up your credit. I'm assuming that's what you want to learn, so if you just continue watching, in the end I will have a trick that I have used to raise my credit score 14 to 16 points each time, so make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of the video. So now let's talk about your credit ranges. There's a whole bunch of different credit bureaus and whatnot, but basically it goes like this. If your score is in the range of 300 to 599, that is very bad. If your credit score is 600 to 649, that's a poor credit score. 650 to 699 is a fair credit score. 700 to 749 is a good credit score. 750 to 799 is a very good credit score, and 800 all the way up to 850 is an excellent credit score. So it's important for you to know in your state what are the requirements for all the types of loans. I mentioned this in my other video. If you haven't watched it, make sure you check that video out. You want to get your research done to know what kind of credit score they're going to require. And it's always good that the higher your credit score is, the better chances you are of getting a better loan, better interest rate, and a lower down payment. Okay, so let's go into what most influences your credit score. So the thing at the top of the list that determines your credit score is your payment history. So are you paying your credit loans on time? Any debt that you have, are you paying on time? Are you missing any payments? Are you paying late? Next is the amounts owed, your balances, loans, and debts. How much do you owe to different lenders, different companies, your student loans, whatever it may be, credit bureaus, credit cards, whatever. Whatever you may owe to them, they're gonna use that to determine your credit score as well. And lastly, the length of your credit history. So how old are your accounts? Do you have brand new accounts? Do you have accounts that go 5 years back, 10 years back? We're gonna go more into detail with all of these, but just to sum that up, the most influential is your payment history, and then your amounts owed, and then the length of your credit history. Okay, so let's go into your payment history. So your payment history is worth 35% of your total credit score. So you want to try to make 100% of your payments early or on time. You don't want to have any late ones, any missed payments, because that will bring your credit score down. Even one missed or late payment can really impact your credit score, and credit companies really take that seriously, so try to really keep that on track. Next is your amount owed. So your amount owed is worth 30% of your entire credit score. So this is mostly for credit cards, not really installment loans, so not really like your car that you finance or stuff like that. It's really just for like credit cards. You want to keep it at or under 30% utilization. That means you don't want to use more than 30% of what they gave you for your credit card. Okay, so now the length of your credit history, that one is 15%. So when we talk about your credit history, we want to talk about new credit and credit mix. So they don't want to see too many new accounts on your credit history. So they don't want to see, you don't want to go apply for a loan to get a house and they see that you just opened the card 2 months ago. They don't want to see any new accounts like that. And any new accounts can range from 1 to 2 years. So new credit is worth 10% of your credit score. So length of credit history is 15%, new credit is worth 10%, and the longer you had an account, the better. So if you have not opened a credit card, you want to do that as soon as possible and not too close to getting a loan, for applying a loan for a house. You want to take time to really build your credit score and put in the work, so that when you are ready to apply, you don't have to hear no's, you don't have to see the disappointment of a low loan that they want to give you a loan amount. And you also want to have more than one account, but not more than 2 to 3. So let's say if you had a credit card and then you also finance a car and you also have student debt, that is a credit mix, which is also 10% of your credit score. So all of that combined equals to 100% of your credit score. You want to make sure you keep track of all this stuff. And of course, if you guys have any questions about the things, all the information that I'm kind of just throwing at you, make sure you can pause this video at any time, take down some notes, and you can also comment with any questions or DM me on Instagram. Make sure to follow me first so I can make sure I see that DM, and you can ask me any questions. I'll always get back to you. So now let's talk about how to raise and keep your credit score up. Number 1, pay early or on time every time. You want to make sure for a credit card you're paying the minimum or more, and that's also for your student debt. That's also for your car. So always pay each bill that you owe on time or even earlier than it's due, and make sure you're always paying the minimum or more. So if your minimum is 25, pay 25, or if you have a little bit extra that month, go ahead and throw 50, throw 40, you know, just make it better so that they can see that you're responsible and you're willing to pay back with what you borrowed. Make sure you're not having any late or missed payments, like I said, that can really impact your score. And you can sign up for automatic payments. If you're not good with remembering to pay your bills on time, if it's like a $25 minimum or in a range that you know you can afford every month, try to sign up for automatic payments so that it's automatically taken from your card. Your payments for your credit is automatically taken out of your cards, any accounts that you have, so that it's paid off and you don't have to worry about paying on time or missing a payment. If you know that, let's say your due date is the 5th of every month, but you know you normally don't get paid to the 10th or the 15th, you can always ask your credit company if they can push up your due date so that it is more, you know, towards the 10th, the 15th, whatever's more comfortable for you, so that you know that you have no trouble making those payments on time. Tip number 2. Make sure you're paying off large credit balances. Number 1, if you spent $60 and the minimum payment is $25, pay $30 to $35 and up to bring your credit utilization back to 30% or less. I know that's confusing, but we'll get all into that, guys. Don't worry. Ask for a credit increase. Number 3, ask for a credit increase. If you've been making all your payments on time, make sure that you're able to afford it and you can ask for a credit increase from your credit company. So if they're only giving you $100, you can always request that they give you more. They might go up to $200, $300, $500, whatever it is. If you're showing that you've been responsible, then they'll most likely raise your credit balance, your credit limit that they give you, and that way you know that you can afford every month to borrow what you're going to borrow that month and pay it back. And it really helps you to keep your credit utilization under 30%. Number 4, mix up your credit. They want to see different kinds of credit. So this is back to the credit mix that we were talking about, which is 10%. Different kinds of loans. Sorry, I'm just reading off my notes here, guys. Different kinds of loans shows lenders that you can handle multiple types of credit. So you want to have a combination. So let's say a car loan and a student loan, a car loan and a credit card and a student loan. Don't be afraid to buy a house just because you have student debt. You know, student debt is the same thing as any credit debt. Make your payments on time, pay more than the minimum, don't miss any payments, and that'll also help raise your credit score. So just because you have a student loan debt, it doesn't mean you can't buy a home. They're gonna take out, well, in Ohio what they do is, I believe they calculate 1% of your payments every month into your debt to income ratio to know if you can afford to have the house. So even if you have student loan debt, you can buy a house. And then you can apply for repayment plans for, you know, all these things, especially for your student loans. Try to work out a repayment plan with them so that you know that you can afford their payments every month. Tip number five, pay off what you can. So periodically pay off credit card balance. So let's say you have $500 in your credit card balance. If you have that $500 and you've been using your credit limit, 500 credit limit, and you've been using that entire 500, you've racked up that 500 or 450, pay off that entire thing at once. Do that every couple of months so that you know that you are raising your score and you're keeping your utilization under 30%. So now we're going to get into the very confusing but helpful tip to boost your credit score that we've done to raise our credit score 14 to 16 points. Okay guys, so this is all about the big tip that I'm giving you to give yourself a credit boost in your credit score. So basically it's all about your credit utilization. Essentially what we are doing is raising our credit utilization above 30% for a few months, back to back, 2 to 3 months, and then on that third or fourth month making a large payment to bring our credit utilization back under 30%. Like I said, this is what me and my husband did, and it gave us a really big credit boost. Gave me 14 points, gave him 16 points, and that makes a world of a difference when you're going to buy a home. I want everybody to buy a home. I want everybody to be happy with a high credit score. So if you guys feel like you need to pause at any time, make sure you do so. And if you need to, you can give me a message, whether on Instagram or on comment below for this, and I can actually I can email you this same chart for, that you can use as an example, and I can even email you a blank one so that you can keep track of your credit utilization for each month. Okay, so let's get started. So let's say you just opened a credit card in January, and the credit limit that they gave you is $100. So for January, your beginning credit limit is $100. Your beginning balance due, which is how much you owe, is $0. So now let's say you went ahead and spent $60 this month. That makes your new credit limit $40. Okay, so that's how much you have left after you spent your $60. What you owe now is your $60 because that's what you spent. So you owe them now $60. Your minimum payment, let's say for example, is $25, and that's what you decided to pay this month. So now your end credit limit is $65. And remember guys, I don't know if you have a credit card or not, but if you're just opening a credit card, it's important to understand that the amount you pay back that you owe is money that you're essentially giving back to yourself to spend for the next month. Okay, so now your end balance due for January is $35. So now let's go over to February. Your beginning credit limit is $65. Your beginning balance due is $35. Let's say this month you decided to go ahead and spend $50. Okay? Your new credit limit is $15. All you have left to spend is $15 this month. Your new balance due is $85 because now you spent a total of $85 between January and February. And again, you pay your minimum $25 due. Now your end credit limit is going to be $40, and your end balance, what you owe, is $60. And as you guys can see over here, I have your January credit utilization. After spending that much, your credit utilization is at 35%. And like I said, we want to keep it at 30% or below. Now your February credit utilization is 60%. So we're raising our credit utilization each month so that in the next month, we can decrease it by giving a large payment that is due. So let's go over to March. So this March example is when you're going to try to increase your credit score by decreasing your utilization this month. So at the end of February, we had an end credit limit of $40 and an end balance of $60. So that transferred over to March. Let's say in March you only spent $10 at McDonald's or filling up your tank at the gas station. Now your new credit limit is $30, not $300. $30. Your new balance due is $70. So again, your credit limit is how much you have to spend, and what you owe is $70. Let's say this month, instead of your $25 that is due, you paid $45, so you paid more than what was due, $20 more than what was due. Now your end credit limit has increased to $75, so you essentially gave yourself back up to $75 to spend for next month. And all you owe now is $25. So now that you only owe $25, your credit utilization for March is 25%, and that is good because, like we said, we want it at 30% or less. So this right here, doing this, should give you a credit boost. If you want to try to prolong it so that you can give yourself a chance to have an even higher credit boost with more points, then let's say we didn't do this March. Let's say we decreased our credit utilization by 10% from February, but we didn't bring it under 30% because we want to do that next month, okay? So let's go to example number 2 for March. Let's say none of this happened, right? Let me just get rid of this one. Let's say none of that happened back then. So at the end of February, your end credit limit was $40 and your end balance was $60. Let's say this March, you decided to spend $15 buying a new shirt somewhere, I don't know. And your new credit limit now is $25. You only have $25 to spend in April. And your new balance due is $75. You owe them $75. And then let's say again, you paid only the minimum due. Your end credit limit is $50. And your end balance is, once again, $50. Now the reason why we want to actually lower it a little bit is because if you go too many months in a row increasing your credit utilization, that will decrease your credit score. So you don't want to, make a big jump. Let's say you don't want to go from 35 to 60 and 60 to 90. You want to go a little bit lower. That'll essentially give you a few points raise on your credit score, and it'll prevent you from decreasing your credit score by a whole lot of points. So you want to bring it a little bit less than that second month if you decide to prolong this for 3 months instead of 2 months, okay? Now let's go to April. Your beginning credit balance is $50. Your beginning balance due is $50. The amount you spent this month is only $10 at Dairy Queen, like me. Your new credit limit is now $40. What you owe them is now $60, and you decided to pay $45 rather than your $25 minimum payment due. That brings your credit limit, you gave yourself back, up to $85, and now you only owe them $15. That means your April credit utilization is 15%, which is half of the 30% that lenders want to see when you apply for a loan. Okay, so 15%. So once again, to sum it all up, for a few months we increased our credit utilization, and then the next month, whether the third or the fourth month, whatever you choose to do, we made a large payment, more than our minimum due, to bring our credit utilization and our end balance, what we owe, below 30%. Okay, I hope you guys can understand this example. Like I said, if you have any questions, make sure you DM me on Instagram, give me a follow so that I can see your DMs. Sometimes they won't pop up. And you can also comment below on this question. Like I said, if you DM me, you can give me your email, and I can email you this form either with all these numbers as an example. You can do this for any month, or I can email it to you blank so that you can fill it out and keep track of what you're spending every month and your credit utilization before you go to buy a home. So there you have it. I really hope that I gave you guys enough information on how to raise your credit score and keep it up so that you can buy your own home. If you have any questions, like I said, feel free to DM me on Instagram at _HeyIt'sNei, and also comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with all the videos that I have and will be posting about our Ryan home and purchasing your own home. And make sure that you leave a like and comment, share with your friends, all that good stuff. Bye.